While I was making my Knights of the Old Republic 2 video, I saw this scene with Mira and the Jedi Exile. The Exile's coming to apologize to Mira, having sort of upset her, talking about her family who she lost in the Mandalorian Wars.
Yeah, well, they're dead. That's how that story ends. But not everybody's story has to end with losing their family or their loved ones. And not all the bounty hunting I do is for criminals or killers. There's a lot of lost people out there, scattered ever since the Mandalorian Wars. And sometimes it's like you can almost hear them, like an echo, calling out for each other. And maybe, just maybe by finding them, I can start putting the galaxy back together.
I love this line. I've always liked it. And when I saw the movie Jane Got a Gun, it reminded me of this line, and it's a scene I particularly like in Jane Got a Gun. So here we've got Jane Hammond, Natalie Portman, talking to Dan Frost, Joel Edgerton.
You know what, Dan? You might want to see a day where the sun don't just shine on your story. Because there is a whole world out there of other people's tales. You just care and listen.
What I like about both of these scenes is this idea of other people's stories and the interconnectedness of things. That's sort of a big theme, in particular in Knights of the Old Republic 2. And Jane Got a Gun, understanding other people's point of view, understanding other people's story is sort of a major theme in the movie. And it's one thing I think is important in fiction. When I was writing my book, on the early drafts, there was a criticism that everything was too much centered around the protagonist of the book, and that it needed to have more emphasis placed on other people and what they wanted and what their motivations were, just to make it feel like a real world. I was thinking about this too as I've been playing Mass Effect Andromeda lately, and I think that's one thing I like about it over the old Mass Effects, is that it feels more like it's a whole world, a whole universe, with lots of different people in it, as opposed to just being sort of the story of Commander Shepard, like the first three. So this de-emphasis on one person, less self-centered, in other words, which is important not only in fiction, but it's actually something that's very important to know for life as well. And even though it's something you hear a lot, I'm not sure how many people practice it. But sometimes it can actually help you out a lot in life to be able to step back and see things from another perspective.